Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
I am Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope. So, look, I don't always agree with Elon Musk. I don't agree with everything that he says and does. However, I do really appreciate the fact that he's standing up for free speech at the moment, okay? And I agree with what he says about free speech. And I do not agree. That's the reason why I did the episode last week about how we're losing our free speech, our freedom of speech, freedom of thought in Australia and Canada, all over the Western world. But mate, Australia and Canada are leading the way; they are leading the charge. So we have obviously the E-Safety Commission and this commissioner, who is Ms. Julie Inman Grant, pushing the boundaries again, ordering this company, little old Australia, the E-Safety Commission, ordering this company, you will do what we say, because Australia has become a despot nation. And she is queen of the despots, I would say. Wouldn't she have been a cruel dictator back in the day? And dare I say it, if she gets the chance in the future, she would not be someone you would want with any kind of authority. Let's just say, another pandemic happens again, which I think it will. You do not want her in any state, any any kind of authority in with anything. If the Lord help us, if she had some kind of authority within the health organizations that ruled this nation, and that will rule this nation if another pandemic happens. Okay, so let's look at this story. I'll stop ranting. Here she is there. Bishop Mamir Emmanuel wants footage of his stabbing in Wakely Church to stay online. This is what the court has heard. That's her there. Julie Inman Grant. That's obviously the man, Elon Musk. Bishop Mamari Emmanuel, the victim of stabbing at a church in Wakely, says footage of his attack should remain online. The federal court has heard. The court met again on Wednesday to consider a dispute between E-Safety Commissioner. I'd never even heard of this E-Safety Commission before all this rubbish had come up a couple of weeks ago. So Commissioner Julie Inman Grant and social media platform X over the footage. Inman Grant last week issued a legal order to take down a few dozen instances of the footage posted on X, but X said it was an overreach to expect the videos to be hidden worldwide. You think it's an overreach? Yeah. Lawyers for E-Safety then took the matter to court. Hey, who's forking the bill? Who's putting up the bill, paying the bill for E-Safety to do all this stuff? We are, the taxpayer. We don't have any say on whether we want it, but no, it's just foisted upon us. Anyway, according to accusing X of defying its order. How dare you defy our order? How dare you defy our order, X? Can't you hear the voice she'd have? Gravely, don't defy my order. Anyway, on Monday, Justice Jeffrey Kennett issued an injunction ordering X to hide the posts in question temporarily, pending further consideration. X did not comply. I love it. But in today's hearing, ex-lawyer Marcus Hoyne repeated the argument that the global reach of the E-Safety Commissioner was exorbitant. You reckon? Little old Australia, the E-Safety Commissioner trying to make this declaration globally. Do as we say. He also argued it was pointless since footage of the attack had now spread far beyond the few dozen URLs originally identified by the E-Safety Commissioner. He suggested that this was a case of Streisand effect, a phenomenon where the attempt to quash something backfires by drawing attention to it. Yep. Mr. Hoyne told the court Bishop Emmanuel, the victim of the attack, was strongly of the view that the footage should stay online. He said X believed the e-safety commissioner's original order needed to be reviewed by the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, which can overturn decisions of government officials. Kennett, the justice, ordered that the matter be heard again on the 10th of May. And why not? Because it's just, more funding for the courts. A date when X indicated it would be prepared to make more detailed arguments. He ordered that his Monday injunction be extended until that date, but did not directly address X's apparent failure to comply with the original injunction. The injunction applies to the same set of URLs originally identified by the e-safety commissioner, not to any subsequent posts, including the footage. So it is a waste of time. If you're only still going to chase after just those URLs, but you're not going to chase down anything else, any subsequent posts, why continue? Why continue the argument? Because the e-safety has a point to prove, and they have a budget only limited by what the Australian government wants to supply, i.e., the taxpayer, you and I. It's whack-a-mole. The e-safety commissioner has the power to demand the removal of so-called class 1 material. Has the power. Who the flip gave them this power? Our stupid governments. That includes depictions of violent crime, child sex offenders, or other revolting or abhorrent phenomena that offend against the standards of morality, decency, and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults. This is the crux of the problem, okay? They bring in all these other things that everyone knows is wrong. Child sex offenders, obviously, that is abhorrent, definitely wrong. And so they bring in all this and say, well, if you agree, if you want this down, well, then you have to go for that. You can't have free speech. You can't show something like that. They're equating child sex offenses to this man being attacked. That's already up. Even if he says, hey, it should be up for whatever purpose. But X's resistance has honed in on the question of whether those orders apply to content anywhere in the world or simply to content visible to Australian users. X argued it was sufficient to geo-block the URLs, hiding them from Australian users specifically. But lawyers for e-safety argued this could be too easily circumvented by Australians using a VPN, a virtual private network, which obscures geographical locations, and so global action was required. Okay, but ex-owner Elon Musk has argued this could have broader implications, allowing any country to control the entire internet. Yes, he is right. This is the crux of the problem. Any any country can therefore can create their own e-safety, for your safety. It's for your safety, for the benefit of all mankind. That's why we're creating these rules, for your safety. Anyone can create these e-safety commissions, and then they can go out and say, well, we're just going to ban everything because we don't like it. But who are the people? Who are the ones making the rules? Anything that they don't agree with. See, they equate this with child sex. So with child sex offenses. So something that we all know is wrong. Everyone would agree it is wrong. Okay? You know it's wrong, absolutely disgusting. And so they equate it to this because the inference is, well, you can't agree with child sex offenses, obviously, very wrong. Therefore, you can't agree with allowing this online as well. So therefore, everyone starts sitting there going, oh, yeah, well, I don't want to agree with that. I don't agree with that. So if that is the same as this, and they've made those rules, and they're the ones that have decided, well, yep, I better agree. I better allow them to do whatever they want. And next minute, free speech gone, freedom of thought gone. Who can decide? Who can say anything online? No one, except if the government says you can. But this is where we're going. Timothy Webb, a tech law specialist at law firm Clayton Utes, I don't know what that is, said that even if this approach was successful, it would leave the regulator playing whack-a-mole with the non-compliant social media platform since its order covers specific URLs, meaning it would have to keep issuing fresh orders every time a new person shared the same footage. In a statement, a spokesperson, for the e-safety commissioner noted it may be difficult to eradicate damaging content from the internet entirely, particularly as users continue to repost it. E-safety requires platforms to do everything practical and reasonable to minimize the harm it may cause to Australians and the Australian community. The problem is we have governments all over the world that have decided that they will choose for you what is right and what is wrong. They will choose what you are allowed to say and what you're allowed to think. The Bible, God, does not do that. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, okay, I'm going to read this verse to you just to show you the difference between God, who gives us choice. God who says, these are the right things, these are the wrong things in life. This is sin, this is not sin. And it's your choice. But now we have governments who've decided, no, you will watch what you say and we will monitor everything you say and we will decide if what you say is right or wrong. Now, it might be right, but we're going to decide if it's right or wrong. In Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19 says, I call heaven and earth as witnesses today against you that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life that both you and your descendants may live. God gives us a choice. It says he sets before us life and death. Choose life. We get the choice. With God, we get a choice. With governments, with the modern Australian government, they don't want us to have any choice anymore. They want to take our choice. They have already taken a lot of our choices anyway. We saw it. It all kicked in from the mandates for the pandemic, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. That's why they are after our free speech. They are after our freedom of thought. They don't want us to be able to say what we're thinking. They don't want us to have freedom. They want to be able to dictate to us how we can think and what we will say. But God says, choose life, because God has given us freedom to choose. But it's the Australian government that doesn't want us, and other governments around the world that don't want us to choose. They want to tell us what to do because they think what they have decided, because I'll say this, because they have decided what is right and wrong. They reject the Bible, reject it totally, because they've decided they know what is right and wrong. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You let me know what you think. I'm Jay Fallon, still. Haven't changed my pronouns. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher.